What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 32 of our Cincinnati Reds franchise. In this one, we're going to be taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks in Chase Field. And all things considered, we should probably do pretty well in this game. We're 27-13. The Diamondbacks are 16-24, so they are struggling. Zack Greinke is also struggling. Tale of two pretty good pitchers in the past, but Keuchel's having the better season. So Zack Greinke and Keuchel, obviously you guys know that have followed baseball for a long time. Very, very solid pitchers. Ace-type status pitchers, except it's the tale of two teams. One team's in first place, the other team is in last place. So take a look at the NL Central standings. We're 3.5 games above the Brewers, 4.5 above the Cardinals, 6.5 above the Cubs. So by no means are we owning this division by any means. You guys can see on the calendar here, we are on quite a bit of a winning streak. The offense is really coming through for us in these last few games. 8 runs, 6 runs, 5 runs. Pretty tight games here against Milwaukee and Chicago the last about 5 days ago. 4-2, 4-2. 2 runs there, 7 runs there. Shutout against Jaime Garcia. And yeah, so none of these games, guys, I played. The only game that I played was the last one that you guys saw, was with Anthony DeSclafani pitching against Leicester. Other than that, the offense is like killing it, right? And the pitching staff's doing really well. So all things considered, I think this Reds team is really, really hot, really, really looking good. Surprising though a little bit, because look at our circle there. We're rated 20th. 14th in contact, 26th in speed, so they don't think that we're too fast, but they think the Cubs are a lot better, 3rd overall ranked, and for whatever reason, we're just simming very well. We're getting the job done. So this team is really gelling, really growing together, and I'm liking where we're at. So take a look at the National League West here. The Dodgers 31-10. Goodness gracious. Diamondbacks are not the worst team in the National League, by the way. The Rockies are at 15-24. Nationals, Phillies, and Marlins. And look at this. Nobody is above 500 in the National League East. What a crap show that is. Oh my gosh. That's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Think if the Reds were in the National League East, we would be owning that division, right? Let's take a look at the American League West. Astros, Mariners. So this is a pretty tight division here. Athletics still, they're a game above 500. They've got Bryce Harper, right? I still don't know why you would want to sign out there, but okay, whatever, Bryce. Indians taking on the American League Central with ease. The Tigers 13-27. Yeah, we know. Blue Jays, surprisingly, 27-14. But, maybe not surprisingly, because they did sign, I think that was Charlie Blackmon, and there's another player that they signed too. Let's just check out the Blue Jays really quick. Let's check them out. I do like the Blue Jays. Yeah, they signed Chris Sale and Charlie Blackmon. Obviously, really, really good players, really contributing to their success in the season. Just doing a quick little update here. I want to show you guys the league leaders. Joey Votto batting .387 with a .466 OBP. If he's not in the MVP race right now, guys, that's a travesty. Absolute travesty. Hits, obviously Votto is way up there. Seager, .366 batting average for him too with .424. Does he have more home runs than Votto? No. So they're having about the same type of season. But yeah, Votto better be up there. I'm not even kidding you, in the MVP race. Suarez, though, 13 home runs. Having a pretty good season himself. 314, 391 OBP. Yeah, that's pretty dang good as well. RBI leaders, Suarez and Votto. That should be the case. Stolen bases, Billy Hamilton. He's bumping that average a little bit up there now, 204. But Cameron Maybin, who would you rather have, guys? Cameron Maybin or Billy Hamilton? Honestly, I would probably still take Billy Hamilton just because of the defense. Cameron Maybin is a good player. He's even really good offensively, but That's just Billy Hamilton's the man out there in center field. Take a look at Tucker Barnhart. 24 walks, 300 average, 440 at catcher. That's extremely, extremely valuable. Like you can't even get better than that as a catcher. Like that doesn't happen a whole lot. Take a look at Dallas Kuechel. We already talked about him a little bit. 218 with a 111. Only 6.8 K per 9 though, so he doesn't strike out a whole lot of guys at all. Luis Castillo 344, so he's kind of taken a little bit of a step back from last season, but he's a 90 overall right now. So we're gonna take that for sure. 8.7 K per 9. Kendall Graveman, still, he's kind of like Keuchel, not going to strike out a lot of guys, but the ERA, look at that, 3.02 and a 1.11. Guys, this pitching staff is legit for us this season. I like what is going on. So take a look at the awards real quick. National League MVP is looking like Freddie Freeman, 368 with 10 home runs. Dude, I'd give it to Votto. And maybe I'm a little biased here, but 387 with 2 more home runs, and 9 less RBIs, but my goodness, how can you not give it to him? Cy Young, Joe Ross. Wow. Clayton Kershaw, Joe Ross, Dinelson Lamet. You know, Joe Ross was a big key cog in our 2017 MLB The Show Detroit Tigers franchise too, so that's pretty cool. Batting title, you obviously got to give it to the guy with the highest average. Joey Votto's up there. Reliever of the Year award, Mark Melancon. Rookie of the Year, Monte Harrison, 321. Wow. Austin Riley. Yeah, I mean, you got to give it to this guy, right? Kind of have to at this point, right? 321. Jeez. Oh, Pete's. Hank Aaron Award, Joey Votto. Yeah. Top hitter in each league. So he's the top hitter, but he's not going to win the MVP. Kendall Graveman's winning the Cy Young, or the Gold Glove. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Barnhart. Let's see. Anybody else? Suarez is in there. Billy Hamilton's not even on the... Oh, yep, there he is. He is on the list for center field. So, yeah. So, there you go, guys. Just wanted to update you guys on a little bit of that. As far as scouting goes, the one quick thing I want to show you guys is, yes, I have a lot of pitchers I'm looking at right now, but the strategy going forward of scouting for this season is to focus on positional players. We focused a lot of time on pitching, and for good reason. We do have a young pitching staff as it is in the major league level that's going to be around for us about maybe 3 or 4 more years. Hunter Green, 19 years old. Obviously, Chris Rodriguez, 20 years old. Then we've got Ambrose, Ray. We got Villalobos. I mean, look at their performances, guys. 174 for Villalobos, 184. This is even simming a whole entire month since the last update, right? So these guys are killing it right now. Chris Rodriguez having a really good season himself with 263 at AAA. And keep in mind, these are numbers in AA for Villalobos and Ambrose, obviously. But yeah, once they get up to the AAA level, I think that they're probably going to replicate something that Chris Rodriguez is doing a little bit here with a 263. But yeah, the pitching staff is extremely, extremely young. I'm not too worried about looking at guys that we need to draft out of there. But if you guys look at the catching, Tyler Stevenson is pretty much our youngest guy, other than Donnie Sands, right? Everything else is pretty much in their prime or a little bit on the older side of things. First base, obviously, Pavin Smith is the dude coming up here after Votto is said and done. And then you've got Longy and Williamson, 58 overalls. Williamson, obviously, the most likely to get past that 60 overall threshold. I don't think either of those guys is going to take over Pavin Smith's job at first, but yeah, we do need to focus on first base a little bit. It's not high on the priority list as much as second base might be. And as you guys can see here, a lot of guys on the older scale, 26, 28, 25, 30, 22 for Tobin. We drafted him late last season in the draft. Brandon Dixon, 26. So yeah, I mean, I would think a young guy is like 19 to 23, like where Shed Long's at. And I mean, Shed Long is just killing it right now. 349 with 109 at bats. That's crazy. He should probably get the call up to AAA. Kind of being blocked here by Diego Palmeiro and Dilson Herrera. But, you know, we kind of do have a logjam here at second base at AAA. Maybe we can probably trade one of these guys. Like, maybe we don't even need Lombardozzi. He's actually playing third base, though. You know, so don't take too much account with that. He is playing third. Blandino, I think, is playing third base as well. They're kind of splitting time. So don't look at second base as like we're loaded there. But, I mean, we are, but we aren't. But if you guys look at the ages, that you kind of get what I'm seeing here. By the time that our young prospects are ready to take over second base, Jeanette's going to be like 31. Maybe Shed Long gets the job. You know, later on down the line, maybe it ends up being Peraza gets second base. Maybe it's Senzel gets second base. Yeah, so it just depends on how things work out. And just like when the Reds drafted this season, they drafted Jonathan India. Everybody was like, well, why did they do that? Because they got Senzel who can play third, they got Suarez who can play third, blah, blah, blah. Well, you normally want to take the best player that's available to you, because you never know what's going to happen, guys. You never know with injuries. You never know with guys walking away that don't want to re-sign. You never know about production. Like, baseball's a long season. You got a lot of players to choose from, a lot of players within your organization, and you just want to be able to give yourself the best chance with the best talent that's available to you. And guys might not pan out. Guys that you think that you're drafting for positionally, you know, like we would do with third base, right? Or like I said with catcher, if you got a stud third baseman, but you're saying, well, we don't need third base, so we're not going to address it, but we're going to take our catcher. Well, you know, what would you rather have, really? Would you have a catcher or a third baseman who you know is going to be a stud, right, down the road? I would probably end up just taking the stud and seeing what we can do with catcher, right? So that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you guys, is that overall, just looking at our youth a little bit, you know, even in outfield, it's pretty much Anaya, Moore, Winker and Trammell are okay there, obviously, but when we start getting into the right field situation and the center field situation, it doesn't look too good as far as young guys go. So we do need to address scouting younger guys and drafting positional players versus pitching. So that's really all I wanted to tell you guys before we got into this gameplay. So let's do that. Let's get right into this gameplay against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
MLB Network has baseball from the Valley of the Sun, Chase Field in Phoenix. Lots of pink all around for this Mother's Day matchup between the Cincinnati Reds and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
All right, guys, let's get this gameplay underway. You guys saw Zack Greinke's numbers just a little bit. You saw the ERA and the record. You guys can see the whip is a 1.6, 59 Ks, 15 walks, so he will give up a lot of hits. And, I mean, the walk totals are not that great either. And you guys can see Jesse Winker here batting in the 2-hole in today's game against the right-hander. And look at Joey Votto, guys, 387. So we do have a runner on first here. That is Winker. And then Votto's going to get a base hit right past the glove of Goldschmidt, who has a very Gold Glove caliber glove out there at first. But regardless, he's going to bump his average to about 391 right now. And look at Jeanette, got runners on the corners with an 0-2 count, takes this high and inside fastball deep to the right field part of the ballpark, into the stands. Number 8 on the season. Actually, it could be 9. That's actually 9. Guys, I'm not kidding you. Like, my screen is very, very small whenever I'm trying to do these gameplays here. But forgive me. I think that's number 9 on the season. So it's going to be 3-0 in the top of the first with 18 pitches. So we can see a little bit later here, Senzel and Barnhart are on second and third. Culberson up. He will strike out on a nasty slider. So we go to the next inning after Greinke's like at 35 to 45 pitches already in this game. So that all-star difficulty, maybe they just throw a lot more balls. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe the pitcher consistency isn't the same. Like, they're not just constantly laying in fastballs for you in the strike zone. So you do have to be a little bit more patient and pick your spots. So you guys can see Kuechel gets out of the bottom of the first inning here. Let's go to the top of the third, and then we got Jeanette coming up and gets another extra base hit. So he had that 3-run home run his previous at bat. Now he gets on with a double. Reds don't end up scoring him, so we move on to the bottom of the third, and we see a nice little play out there by Jeanette at second base, and then we have a fly ball out here to Culberson in foul territory. So Kuechel still has not allowed a base hit yet in this ball game, so he is in line for another W as long as we can keep that going. So we do face off against Zack Greinke, who's going to try to get over his head there, but Kuechel, being the great fielding pitcher that he is able to get that play made. And let's go to the top of the fourth here. 71 pitches already for Zack Greinke. Steven Souza cannot make the play on a Barnhart extra base hit out there to right center field, so he's going to roll in there with a double with 1 out. 71 pitches though, guys. 72 pitches here to Culberson. He's going to get a base hit. We're not going to push Barnhart with that 24 speed though, so he's going to hang tight there at third base. 80 pitches now against Dallas Kuechel coming up. The pitcher, 2-2 count, and he's going to lift a little lazy looper over there right in front of Yasmani Tomas. Run will score, so Barnhart scores. Runner is safe. That's Culberson at third. So Kuechel having himself a heck of a game here, right? No hits allowed thus far. Helping his own cause. The Reds offense is really coming through for him. I mean, what more can you ask out of him, right? And then we've got Zack Greinke, who nearing like 80 plus pitches in 4 innings. That's never going to be good for your chances at having a long-term start. And Luovo is going to pull him. So here comes Peraza up, first pitch swinging on Hirano, and he's going to get a single, an RBI single. So runners move up, and now you got 5-0 with Jesse Winker at the plate, and Hirano is going to walk him to load the bases against Joey Votto, who's been raking, and he's going to go deep right here to the right field corner, and Souza is able to camp under it, make a great play to make that out, and it's going to be 6-0 as the run will score here as a sac fly. Take a look at some defensive prowess here by Jesse Winker, cutting that ball off on Gerard Dyson and getting the throw in nice and quick. Jeanette with the snappy little tag there, and Gerard Dyson shooting for the extra bases in the bottom of the fourth inning. I can't blame him. He's got to utilize his speed, got to get something going for your team. But great throw, great tag by Jeanette and Winker to come through. Still 6-0 here as Kuechel has allowed a hit. Now, that was the first one to Gerard Dyson, but he's still pitching great, guys. 6-0 here, and we see Senzel getting his first hit of the game. Right back up the middle. Gotta like that. He's been struggling this season thus far, but with how Peraza's been playing and Hamilton's been playing, and especially with how Senzel is playing in this game, like, we might have to consider, playing Senzel at short and Peraza at center field, and just letting Billy Hamilton figure some things out before we can really give him the starting nod again, because he's still hitting like 200, which is not very good. But check this out. So Winker dove for a baseball out there in left field. We got to go with Scott Schubler now. We're trying to give him a day of rest, but he's got some kind of bruise in his forearm or in his wrist, so we have to check up on that. And actually, guys, I did check up on it after this game. It's not a long-term deal, so I won't have any suspense there. I won't freak you guys out. So Winker's fine. He's going to only miss a couple days, so everything is all good there. So you guys can see Goldschmidt gets a base hit, an RBI single, makes it 6-1 here, and then Jake Lamb's going to strike out on a Kuechel off-speed pitch. So here's Senzel again, top of the 7th, and he is going to send a line drive out there to Goldschmidt, who is going to bounce off of his face. It looked like it got his head. Now, as many times as I've tried to replay this, it looks like it's either off his shoulder or off of his head. Pretty crazy. And we see shortstop trying here to get up, show some Derek Jeter hops out there, and he's unable to get that play made. So got runners on the corners here, still 6-1, and Culberson lifts a fly ball out there. Second base and center field can't handle it. The run will score, however. Barnhart is out at third base trying to be aggressive a little bit. So Let's jump to the 9th inning, though, guys. We are up 7-1. Got to get Jared Hughes some work here. Ground ball back up the middle to little soft ground ball up to Jeanette, but unable to make the play there. Off balance. It was a very, very good effort, except, you know, it just hit too soft. Valbuena is going to strike out. Get a fly ball out here to Peraza in center field. He's actually been playing pretty good out there in center, all things considered. He's no Billy Hamilton, but he gets the job done. So we got 2 outs now, and then J.R. Murphy going to swing and miss at a slider that just really didn't break. I think he might have thought it was going to, but that was a very terrible swing. But guys, your Reds are winners. 7-2 here on the road. Get the series W against the Diamondbacks. This team is on fire, guys. I'm not kidding you. Like, there's a lot to look forward to organizationally, but this team right now, and I mean organizationally as the future goes, but this team in its current state looks like it's going to be one that's to be reckoned with here in the NL Central. So the Cardinals, Brewers, and Cubs definitely have something to work for this season. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing, and I will catch you guys in the next Reds video. Peace.